Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Tough, and I am just chilling a little bit. I'm going to be doing a quick hobby hangout with some friends of mine. By friends, I mean you guys, the viewers. I'm only going to be on for like an hour, hour and a half or so, but you know what? I needed to do some rebasing for some square-based models that I have of clan rats, and so I wanted to just sit, chill, hang out. If you can hear and see me okay, let me know in the chat. A few things to show off here. What? Oh, I got some completed Skaven stuff I'm going to show off to y'all. So let's head down to the downward cam. Start off with these dudes. I got 10 of them. Right here, I don't know if you can see it very, very well. The focusing on these cameras is not always the best when it comes to the downward view. But these are my converted Scryer Acolytes. And what it is, it's a Plague Monk body with all the weapons cut off, and I'm going to put like a poison globe or something in there at some point. And then the hooded Skitari head. And, you know, normally the Skaven, like the snout of the rat would come out a little bit, and I might green stuff, something on there. But honestly speaking, because their heads are pointed more downwards, it doesn't really matter. And so, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And the backpacks also look great, so I think they're a fun little conversion. I'll do more pictures as they get painted and stuff like that, and I'll throw some up on Instagram tonight. But yeah, I did reach out to, what is it, Secret Weapon Miniatures, because they actually have a head with a gas mask that if you just put a little bit of green stuff around the mask portion, it would look like a Skaven snout, and then you can do some ears and like that. So I don't know, it's cool. So I got 10 Scryer Acolytes right there. Let's see here. Yeah, sorry for my delay. I have family in town, and there's a, complicated. Family gets complicated. Got myself a sick new measuring tape that I found online, which I didn't realize many hardware places, it's actually hard to find a measuring tape that does the gamer thing, right, where it locks when it's out and you hit the button. It's like a reverse action from what you get. Anyway, showing that off. And I built my Skaven Bombardier. Or Bombardier Engineer, whatever he is. Warlock Bombardier, that's what he is. I dig him. He's a fun little dude. And what else did we do? We finished the 3 Storm Fiends. So we got a big guy with the mortar, or the wind launchers. I went with the Gatling gun for the third guy, because he just looks so sick. I just couldn't not, you know? And of course the first one we all built together. So, yeah. Very excited to have all those guys done. So that's quite a bit of Skaven stuff actually completed. I feel pretty good about that. What I'm doing tonight, as you can see, I have my big shipment of bases just came in the mail. And like I said, I have about an hour before I got to hop off. And I was like, you know what? Let's just hang out and we'll do some rebasing. These actually come from the game Infinity, but they use, this is an actual GW base, and they fit perfectly. And they do, the most important thing was that the clan arts I have are from the old Island of Blood, and so it's important to have the slotted thing. And these Infinity ones, when you get them, they're smooth on top, but if you look on the back, they're slotted. There's just a very thin level of plastic, so they can be slotted or not. Very, very simple to do that. So that is pretty much what I have going on here. So yeah, if you are watching over on Twitch, thank you so much for supporting the channel over there. It means the world to me. And we're just going to start doing that. So let's just start by getting a fistful of mice, shall we? This is my big bucket of Skaven. And I thought, this is probably going to sound terrible on the camera, and I'm very sorry about that, but yeah. Let's see, Andrew Simmons running that 1-drop list, the Cannon Battalion plus Gas Cloud. I've definitely thought about it. The reason I'm doing clan rats right now is just because I have them. But yeah. 2-tab going on. That's awesome. Yeah, so I have them, and so I was like, I should probably use them. But not a whole lot of reason beyond that. You know, like, because there's the Skaven list that I'm bringing with me to Nova, which I'm still working on, kind of cooking up. I was going to do, I'll talk about that in a second. I'll talk about Nova in a second. But anyway, plans changed. I'm not bringing the same list that we planned out online, just for reasons I'll get to in a second. But, so I want my elite travel list, but also, I still play on rerolling once with my friends, so I need to have other lists to keep me interested, and so a bunch of clan rats are important to those lists. So yeah, I think that's everyone. It looks like everyone. All right. And there's the arduous task of taking these out of the old slots and just slipping them in the new ones. Let's see here. One drop list gets you the Scryer battle line. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I did a live show at one point where I was talking about just kind of list ideas for Skaven stuff, and then we came up with one that I thought was really fun. It was a narrative for the narrative event where Molder and Scryer were both competing to show off their best creations, and so I had a bunch of clan rats because you have to when you have more than one kind of clan in there, but it was Scryer and Molder and all kinds of cool stuff. And then I ended up not doing the narrative event, so I got to rethink. I need 1,000-point lists, which unfortunately pretty much auto means you can't do the Scryer one. That thing is so stinking expensive. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's just jump into it. That's a good topic. As far as the narrative event at Nova, I was home and ready to buy tickets the minute it went up because me and Jack from Rolling Ones were both afraid that we were going to be late and miss out on stuff. And then as we were chatting about our plans, oh man, this guy's got glue or something. Okay, I kept wondering why it wasn't going in the slot. As we were talking about our plans, Jack was more interested in doing the grand tournament thing and the team tournament, and I was more interested in the narrative. And then I had a good think about it, and I was like, I want like the best convention experience possible. It's gonna be my first one. I'm very excited to go. And this is not something it's something that I plan to do all the time, but I can't say for certain if my friends are going to do it all the time. And so, yeah, no, I decided let's skip the, we'll skip the narrative event. I can do that another year, and I'm just going to go whole hog into the team event. So, me and Mr. Jack from Ruling Ones are going to rock that. I think Tom and Vince also do that one pretty regularly, so that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, I will do the doubles event. I'm gonna have a blast with it. So, and I just wanted to I don't know. I think nothing cooler than just experiencing that kind of stuff with the friends who encourage you to get there, right? And that's the whole point. That's what I do this for. So, yeah. I am excited about it. Man, maybe these bases are a little more work than I thought they were. The first one came apart pretty easy. Hopefully that wasn't like a fluke. Alright. The first one I just kind of drew two lines roughly where the mold line was for the slotted section and just popped right out. Not as much luck with this one. Let's see. Double sound fun? Are y'all theming your list together? I don't know. So here's the thing. We kind of bump into the same travel problem where basically my Nova plans are on... well, I'm going to be there actually the week ahead of Nova. So I'm just going to be chilling out doing DC stuff. Being a tourist with my missus. And then when the actual thing starts, I'm going to do the doubles tournament. I think that's on Friday. And I think the grand tournament is Saturday and Sunday, and that's what Jack's going to be a part of. So, well, we'll just be around. As far as theming our list together, I don't think we have any plans for that. The reason I brought up all of our plans together is because, at that point you have to take two armies, right? You have to take, because I'm bringing Skaven. So he has to bring either one army that he can downsize to be part of the doubles thing, or two different armies if he wanted to do that. And he owns two of them. That's not a big problem. It's just it's a lot more stuff to transport. So probably not. It all depends on what he wants to bring to the grand tournament, because it's so much easier to downsize that. But right now, of course, competitively he runs his shooting Stormcast. So it might have ended up being Stormcast and Skaven, which, light on the thematic, but heavy on the fun. It's not a narrative event, right? It's a team tournament, so that's okay. I'm there to have fun, roll dice, and hopefully earn like best sportsmanship, which Shootcast won't get me, but you know. But you know, the thing is, like, initially when we decided to do that, I was like, okay, let's start brainstorming right away. We'll have like a live show where we, you know, talk about the things that we have available to us and options we can bring in, that kind of stuff. And then it kind of dawned on us that like most of the armies he has. Hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Super appreciate that. Most of the things that he has like are getting a book soon. So like his favorite army is Slaanesh, and at some point, hopefully between now and then he'll be getting a Slaanesh release. And also he has a lot of Khorne if you watch the Path to Glory stuff. So we know Khorne's coming. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like it's really hard to plan what our team's going to be. Like personally, I'd love it if we could at least both be Chaos. But no, all things considered, like it would not ruin my experience at all if he was like, no, I'm going to be Stormcast. We'll come up with a super janktastic story for it, right? Okay. Oh, these are coming apart pretty easy. Okay, I was worried there for a split second. But yeah, let's see here. These rats really want to be good rats. Yeah, these are the Order Skaven. They're just very, and apparently very constructive. You know, they help build a lot of buildings very quickly in Azir. In a word, dutiful. Alright. Shootcast plus Shooty Skaven sounds fun. You know, if that were the case, right, where he brought Stormcast, and then we're trying to think of like the... basically the weaknesses of his army that I could fill, right? Because at that point we know what he's bringing. He's bringing a Shootcast, and it's just a matter of me bringing something for 1,000 points to kind of fill in that gap. And like, you know, I'm trying to think, like the biggest gaps that he has is just board presence. So like if I could just have dudes run up and cap objectives, and then Jack, you know, takes care of the business with a bunch of ballistas, which probably it probably won't be ballistas because. What, General's Handbook would come out before then. So likely that'll change. Or at least change a little bit. I mean, it'll still be good, I'm sure. Can't have Stormcast being bad. This might not be as suffocatingly good. But yeah. What's great is the doubles is a one night. Yes, and that's actually why I did it. So... going back to kind of the events and stuff like that, my tentative schedule for Nova is I'll be there for the GW preview event. I already got my ticket, and I'm very excited about that. And then I'm going to try to see how hard it is to bring my recording equipment. Like, it's just basically just a microphone, USB microphone, and then a laptop. And so hopefully do a live show at the hotel talking about the cool things that we just saw at the preview. I think that would be kind of cool. Beyond that, Friday is all day the doubles event, and then Saturday I have a painting class with Vince Ventrella, talking about weathering or battle damage your models, and then also how to base your models with Duncan. So I managed to get a Duncan class. I'm so excited because you know, I get to be the fanboy. I get people emailing me and messaging me like with very, very kind words, and I think people think I'm unapproachable. So now I get to be the same awkward fanboy to somebody else. I'm much excited. So yeah. Beyond that, what's going on? That's pretty much it. So that's only both of those things. Both painting classes are in the morning, and so I will have all of the evening or afternoon and evening on Saturday just to hang out with people. I wanted to leave plenty of time so I could, like, you know, walk around the vendor hall and meet other people that I content creators that I really, really enjoy. Game with anyone who watches this channel and is in the area, like leave room for pickup games and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the idea, yeah. Let's see. Somewhere I'm pretty sure I have a better blade than this one. Rooftop bar. Oh, there's a rooftop bar there? They don't advertise that kind of cool stuff. Okay. This section's being a little butt. The bases are nice, but they're very inconsistent with how easy they come apart. Some of them just pop right out, and some of them, it's a lot of work. Okay. Internet fame is so weird. Yeah, you know, I don't think it's it is weird. It's not fame in the sense of like a lot of people know me, like relative to anything else. It's more just like the messages that I do get from some people are very personal. Like they were in a really dark time and they're like, you know, just needing an escape and that kind of stuff. So that gets kind of, there's an intensity to it. You're like, man, I'm just a dude. Half the time I don't even record with pants on. You know what I mean? That was a joke, but you know what I mean? Like, you're just a Joe. Raffles and giveaways happen there too. Yeah, you know, I've never been a man who's been lucky at raffles, but I know it's for a charity, so I'll pitch in. I did hear that they're giving away like a Warlord or whatever like that. Like a Warlord Titan for 40k, which I, of course, have absolutely no use for except to say that I own a Warlord Titan, so. I guess I could just, you know, get it to make all the 40k players weep, you know. And very, man, this one's coming apart. Oop, there we go. I don't think he actually glued the Skaven to these bases, but I think every once in a while there's like a little bit of glue that fell from something else, or like the primer is super sticky, and so things get a little dicey. By he, I mean the last owner. It has trade value. You can get a whole new army. Cranky Old Gamer says, are you going to Adepticon? I am not. No, actually, Adepticon's at the end of this month, I think. And we're going back to Iowa to see my wife's family for a little bit. Evening from Orange Park, not Pork, Florida. Hello. How are y'all doing? You're watching the glorious parts of our hobby where we sit around and rebase Skaven off of squares. Because everyone knows that's the best kind of content creation there is for internet. Okay. Next year if I do Adepticon, I'll probably do AOS. Sweet. I hear great things. I know of. I don't know him personally. I think it's Alex Gonzalez. Maybe it's not Alex Gonzalez. I feel like one of the hosts of that, his name is Alex. The guy who does the Garage Hammer podcast. He's a very nice guy. But they all put a lot of work into that thing. It's crazy. I mean, AOS will obviously be always kind of be my number one thing. Although honestly, like lately, I'll be honest with you. I've been tempted to pick up a small force of, what do you call them? War Machine Hordes. Every once in a while I see a model of theirs. I'm like, man, I like that model. That's just a good looking thing. Not something I would join the competitive scene for. Oh my gosh, no, I couldn't keep up with that. But every once in a while it's cool. Have 150 square bases I have to replace. Is there a cheap option? Not really, dude. If you go to AliExpress, it's a website, you can get some from China. Just be careful because they're not always exactly the size you needed. So like, yeah, I just ordered like 40 mils and they're not quite 40. You know what I mean? Like they're just shy. And so it's just a really frustrating position of like, now you're technically playing illegally. I don't know. It's all that kind of stuff. So I don't have a good solution for it, to be honest with you. These are bases from Infinity, the game. Yeah. Gage Porter, my Deadlands mat arrived the other day. Looks fantastic. Thanks a ton. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for helping me clear them out. I think at some point I'm going to do probably going to do a marathon stream of just a lot of hobby stuff, and just as a fundraiser to help my wife go overseas. Like not everyone's into Patreon stuff, but if you're doing something special, they'll cost a couple bucks, and that would help immensely. So anyway, I just did a big raffle to get people to shop for mats and support the channel. But all of that stuff right there, like you're doing right now, is going towards getting me to a Nova. Now it's just saving up for airfare, which is really honestly not the hardest part, because I'm coming from a major airport going to a major airport. Okay, we're coming along. It's slow and steady. MDF bases. Yeah, that's true. I feel like they'd be so light though, and it depends on the model. I guess like when I think of basing, I think of my worst nightmare, which was are these Scourges, whatever the flying like jetpack unit with wings from Dark Eldar is. I think they're Scourges, but where like you couldn't breathe near the table because it would just tip them over. It was infuriating. Okay. Oh, 1 second. This one's being a pill too. Currently batching through 60 stabs. I've primarily been a 40k player, so squads this big are nuts to me. Yeah, man. They. What army do you play in 40k? I can't remember. I can't remember how big Tyranids get with their units. I find huge horde units to just be unwieldy on the table, like just in terms of keeping coherency and all that kind of stuff. Kind of been moving away from that, even though I know it's technically one of the better ways to play because you got to cap objectives, but it can make a game that is already long just very cumbersome. Metal washers on the bottom. Yeah. That is true, but then at a certain point you're out for MDF and also washes and I don't know. Washers, I mean. Honestly surprised that GW focuses on Horde so much. No, I'm not. You gotta sell models. They gotta sell models. Let's see. But I know what you mean. They could have made Horde rules that represent something smaller. You know what I mean? Like taking mob rules and downsized them a smidge. That's true. I think if they, I'm not sure how they would change this, so it's not really a solution that I'm offering, but if they moved away from the like have more models than your opponent in a given area, I think that would certainly help move all of us away from it. But the incentives are so stinking strong to have tons and tons of dudes. Yeah. Let's see, my buddy and I are currently stuck in a bind. We got our 1,000-point armies built and ready, but you can't play yet because he needs a corn battle tome, and we're waiting for the new one. Oh, don't wait for the new one. Just play without battle tomes. Just don't take yours either. Or just play from the app, whatever like that. Just don't take allegiance abilities. Or play Grand Alliance. But, you know, don't let a lack of a book destroy your enthusiasm. I mean, if you want to roll some dice, books are not required for that. That is the best part of AOS. Recently rebased 120 Skaven thanks to a bust them out suggestion from Doug. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting my words there. It'll be fine. It's one of those things. It's kind of like building the where are they at? Oh, the gnawhole terrain here. I hate this kit, by the way. It is the most arduous thing to build ever. And the only thing that kept me going through it was the thought that I only have to do this once in my life. And so this is why I'm not allowed to trade or sell this army. Basically, I built them, but I just didn't glue down the... what do you call it? I didn't glue down the scaffolding. So that made it... That makes them pretty easy to transport. Like, even when they're all painted. Like, you can stack them on the gnaw holes without gluing them down, and they'll stay right where they are. They're very, very stable in that sense. But yeah. Alright, so the thought occurs. I actually have a whole bunch of extra base. But I still have to cut the bottoms off those things, don't I? That's a bummer. That'll still probably be quicker. Let's see. You should get John for that way quicker. It would be quicker, but then it would also be deafening to the microphone that is 6 inches from my face. Let's try and see how this goes. So I have a couple extra of the man. Okay, have a couple extra round bases that don't have a slot in them. So let's see how hard it is to glue them in. And I just broke that guy's arm. Okay. Give me just a second. Having some slight technical problems with my paint thing here, or my glue. There it goes. Got my knot holes painted before an event. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Got them already done. Good for you, man. Give me 1 second. I just gotta get this glue dry, and then I'll talk right back into the microphone. We're maybe good. Nope. This is what I typically do. I have a model with a sword or something hold up a model who is tilting while he drives. There we go. Stab that dude in the arm, keep him stand, pinned him there. Okay. So I missed it. Why the square bases? I'm taking them off square bases and putting them on rounds. That's all you missed. Let's see here. I'm breaking them off. which is not as easy kind of as I hoped it would be. But anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to head over to Nova. This week I have to work on the reviews for the new Start Collecting boxes, which I'm super excited to talk about. I have a question for the chat while we're all just sitting and chilling. Does any of you guys play War Machine and Hordes? I am very curious. It was actually my first war game ever, which I've mentioned before, but it's my channel. I can tell you to. I can repeat myself. Are the Island of Blood Skaven? Yes, they are. Unfortunately, that means they have these really rough. Oh, actually, he's on the other way. Square bases and I don't. Do the new kits have slotted inserts or like that? I can't remember. I haven't actually seen the new ones. Back in the day, Everblight, sweet. Used to run a YouTube channel for Machine Hordes. That's awesome. Yeah, so I've been looking for experimenting with other paint lines, and I actually love P3 paints is why this whole thing started. And so I was kind of getting a sense of like their paint system and looking at some of the tutorials online. And I had a brief moment of like nostalgia where I was like, man, it was good times back in the day when they had that Signar, which kind of like their lightning guys themed army. I was like, oh, so good. Is it not easier? Well, I just tried that. I tried snipping the feet off and gluing it down. It takes more time because then I have to stand here and stop for each one and hold it while it dries. This is fine. Plus, I got them, and I can chat instead of air drying a bunch of models. So you are probably correct in that it's less work, but that's okay. Let's see here. Lilith was my girl. That's sweet. I was all about Nemo. If you don't know, from War Machine Hordes, Nemo was this like mad scientist old man who was basically, think Doc Brown from Back to the Future, but like with giant steam-powered robots. I love it. He was always the least competitive choice, but I did pretty well with him. Let's see here. Man, this is a slow process. Transferring night goblins on a 25 millimeters was way easier than this. I don't envy you. Yeah, you know, I thought the infinity bases that have like the slotted thing kind of built into them would make things faster. I was lying to myself. I'm bad at making decisions, and I shouldn't order bases at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's what I'm getting from all of this. That's okay. I just keep telling me, you know, all these things you don't like about the hobby, whatever like that, just tell yourself, you only have to do it once. You only have to do it once. How many times, you know, in the years that I've been doing this, have I had to rebase Skaven? Never. And if I could get my hobby ADD under control, I would probably never have to do it again, but you know. Man, they do look so much better on rounds. GW still sells slaughtered bases, don't they? I didn't see any online. That was the first place I looked, and then I was like, oh, why am I doing that? They're gonna be so expensive. And the last time I bought bases from them, it was the Shattered Dominion bases, and it was not a good experience. I hate those bases so much. Okay, his arm popped off. Check out the Necromunda range. Okay. I was lucky I used to collect 40k from back when every metal blister came with 4 slotted bases. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. Got a little stockpile of them. Let's see here. Oh, sorry about that. Phone was going off for some reason. Yeah. I don't have a preference over slotted or not. I don't really care. It's more just the transition awkwardly between the two, where it's like some things need them, some don't. Yeah. Decided we'll speed this up. We'll take all the rats off, and then we'll just crack out all the bases rather than doing them one by one. The Shattered Dominion bases particularly bad. I did not care for them because some of them it's more form over function. Like there's the base is so jagged with like the rocks and the unsteady ground that I had trouble getting some of my models to stand on it. It's like, you're a base. The whole point is to stand on it. So I had a real tough time there. This whole guy's foot came off. Any tips on getting a hold of your hobby ADD? I am probably the wrong person to ask that question to. For partially built armies, and I'm painting my first mini. That's funny. I am definitely the wrong person to ask about getting a hold of your hobby ADD, because I committed to playing Beast of Chaos for a year, and then, well, quickly realized that was a terrible idea. In general, just in terms of like sheer hobby boredom, but then also because I like to paint other things. So, probably not a good person to ask. I switch armies like some people breathe, but you know what I have found though, what helps me keep me enjoying an army longer is playing it honestly. Playing it, and then I also paint very, very fast, so the things that I clear out always are painted. Yeah. I just own armies in boxes and regret nothing. There you go. Yeah, I don't regret anything. You know, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, who cares? Nothing wrong with owning 5 armies and only painting one dude. So many people do it. Okay. Got everyone off of an old base. I started speed painting. I sped up drastically. Yeah, I do. That's kind of my next hobby thing I want to do at some point, is get an airbrush for sure. It's on my hobby, I guess, bucket or to-do list. Get an airbrush and get good at it. You know, honestly, it's not even so much that I want to be good at airbrushing things. I just want to prime them. I want to prime no matter what weather it is. Or do some sweet base coats, zenithal highlighting, which I have never done before, that kind of stuff. Kind of expand my horizons when it comes to how I paint things. Because I watch a lot of Vince Ventrella's hobby tutorials, and a lot of them involve starting with a zenithal highlight, and I'm just like, I can't even get that far. About to try green stuffing again, Jack. Good luck, my friend. What are you green stuffing by chance? Are you filling a gap or are you trying to sculpt with it? You guys should come to Miami, Florida and play a game with us sometime. Legit. That is a legit invitation. Miami, Florida sounds like it's made of pure sun and heat, and both of which are the polar opposite of what every Seattleite is does. But that sounds fun. Let's see here. Okay, got some guys here. Oop. Nice. It's coming along. Having a Dracoth pull my Hurricanum. So you need green stuff a saddle area. Okay. Well, at some point we'll do a 2+ tough rerolling ones US tour. You ever used pinning as an alternative to magnetization? I have not, no. Never. Oh, it's not true. I tried pinning once, didn't pan out for me. I did something wrong. I'm not quite sure what. That was back when I was playing War Machine Hordes. Like, it was forever ago. But I don't know. Just never tried again. Honestly, never saw a reason to. Very honestly, like very few things do I actually magnetize. Most of the time, I just pick something I'm happy with and I just roll with it. First stop, Nova. Yeah, first stop was Virginia, obviously. And magnetized one army, never again. I can imagine that. Let me see. Let me get some different blue. Yeah, it's magnetizing is a ridiculous amount of work, and it's worth it or not depending on, first of all, how much you're going to play that army, but like let's see. That should be it. Trying to figure out why it's not coming through. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. New thing of glue. I didn't realize I had to still pop the cap. All right. Let's see here. Hello from UK. It's 3:26 in the morning here. Oh, struggling to sleep. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm doing some rebasing of a whole heck ton of clan rats here, and you ain't missing much. This is a chill episode. Probably gonna hop off in the next half hour or so like that. Go spend some time with my wife. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not easy, but totally worthwhile for army flexibility. It depends on the army. You know, if you're playing Tau, yes, absolutely without question. You're crazy not to magnetize. If you're playing like, I don't know, Slaves to Darkness, do you really need to magnetize every Chaos Warrior? Nah. Just take the shields and be happy. But I see what you mean. Especially when you get into like the more expensive multi-kits, like say like the Paladins from Stormcast. Yeah, magnetizing can be super good. Howdy from South Carolina, building Flesh Eater Quartz Horrors tonight. Sweet. That army's looking good, dude. Like, just where it's at, you know, in terms of its abilities and skills. I mean, it has weaknesses. It's not perfect, but the things it does well, it does exceptionally well, and I think that's exactly what they needed. I dig it. I'm excited about it. At some point, I want to have Jack on. I'd love to get his thoughts, because he's been playing them a little bit at our local league. I mean, at our local store. Not like taken to an event or anything like that. We haven't had one since those books came out, I don't think. But I'd love to get his thoughts on him when he's not busy green stuff and stuff. Would you say Flesh Eater Quartz is the best army in AOS? I certainly would, Kenzie. And I said it a long time ago, and the world just needed to catch up. Thus I spake, and then it became. That is the true power of a microphone on YouTube right there. I have magnetized infinity models for storage reasons. I just took all the long bits, yeah, dude. Yeah, infinity models are brutal. I owned one of their, like, you know, starter boxes or like that, and I was like, nope, this is not the game for me in terms of. I was just really struggling with the models and wasn't having a great time. Plus, it was hard to find a community here. That's always kind of the thing. I was joshing about War Machine Hordes and reminiscing about it, but there's still a community here, and that makes it far more appealing than like Infinity or Malifaux, where I can get into this game and I can fall in love with it, but there's just no one to play with. Let's see here. As I predicted. I love it. I love that that's become a meme on my channel. Completely unintentional. Okay, I got this guy. That's what I should do. I should make a shirt that says, "As I predicted." Magnetizing big model for Beast Claw Raiders. Has many options. Yeah, dude. And this one base. There we go. What do we got left? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 left. Okay, we're getting there. So yeah, after this, I think I'm gonna go build me a doom wheel. That's what I'm thinking. I want to give myself a break from the harder kits, just because, like I think the Mark had said, the endless spell of the Skaven Tide, like with 1,000 little rats crawling around the ground. He said that was kind of a pain, just because of the way that they decided to break up the bases and the rats and things like that. So I'll probably give myself a little break between that. Again, the gnaw holes were like nerve-wrackingly painstaking. Yeah, they were rough. The thing is the actual, like, the rock base of them is like honestly 8 pieces, and they're really nice and finely detailed, and you're like, oh, this is going so well. And then you get to the scaffolding part of the instruction that takes up the vast bulk of the book, and you're like, this is miserable. Let's see, how is Thankful in the new book? I haven't actually looked at him. I don't normally do named characters, but I hear a lot of talk about him, in the sense that people are a little confused about his war scroll because of the way some of his special abilities work. Is kind of funky. Some people are always going to take him just because he's thankful and they love the character, so that's good. I mean, I like those people. Thought you wanted a low model count and you decided clan rats were a good idea. No. These aren't coming with me to Nova. As I said before, I am taking Scryer. I have a whole bunch of kit bashed acolytes over here on the left because they're expensive. And this is because a local guy heard I was doing Skaven and was like, hey, I'm clearing some out. I have the Island of Bloodhaft. Do you want it? And really, I wanted the engineer and the weapons teams and even the rat ogres. And I was like, yeah. But since I own clan rats, and at some point, you know, when I'm not traveling, I would use them, so like on rerolling ones or my channel, might as well start making them. They're already built. Just need to be based. The idea was to pick Scryer to travel with, but that's not the only thing the army's ever going to be. Can do other stuff with it too, which is kind of why I like it. Versatility in the extreme. Let's see here. Stygian marks. Festure Quartz Peep. How would you go about converting / finding a different model for a Vargolf? I've got an old metal one, but I need an extra for summoning. That is a fantastic question that someone else has to help you with. I'm not quite sure where I would find a Vargolf at, or a alternate one. What's the name of the company? Mears Managers sometimes has them. I'm not affiliated with them. I never bought anything with them, but I hear good things that they do, kind of like these custom sculpts that are supposed to look great. Ultra gel Loctite, the glue of GW. I actually got turned onto it by a buddy of mine. It works pretty well. I swear, every like 4th base is hard to deal with, and the other ones are just fine. I don't quite understand what the difference in their process is. Any tips on edge highlighting? I'm still a new painter, and I'm not sure this is something I should really be practicing or being okay with dry brushing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not good at edge highlighting. Never have been. Some people love it and they take to it like a fish to water. I'm not the strongest at it. Honestly, what tends to happen is that I don't thin my paints enough and the transitions look too stark. So rather than being a nice kind of crisp edge, it is a kind of, looks kind of garish. But yeah. Pretty soon, once these guys are on bases and ready to go, I'm going to go back to painting, which I'm more excited about. I hate building so much. But, it's alright. Necessary evil. Let's see here. Let's see. How many bases are you working on? I have 40 total. We're getting near the end. This is just a passing the time project as I take a break between bigger model kits. Like the only thing I have left right now for my Scryer stuff is I have the lightning cannon and I have the doom wheel, and I guess I could get back some more acolytes, that kind of stuff. Where like it just takes a lot more time. So this seemed like a good little something I could just plop down, turn the camera on, chill out with people. I really don't like building, you know, those model kits. They require a lot of focus and attention to get things built and kind of lined up right. And so it ends up being that I'll put on a live show and then I'll just not be able to focus on what's going on in the chat, which is kind of lame because, you know, I can't talk to anyone really. What's the point? So I try to keep it to basing and painting. Painting, I can, for some reason, I can paint and chat seamlessly. But not so much with like reading the instructions and trying to, you know, like Games Workshop does not, with all their kits, does not have the highest quality of instructions when it comes to building, so you have to think about what you're doing. Whereas painting, I've gotten to a point where I can be pretty quick and seamless about like just kind of knowing where things go. Vincy asks, are you back to YouTube streaming? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I'm on Twitch and YouTube at the same time right now, thanks to the wonders of technology. And I've never not YouTube streamed. I mean, this last week I took off because all my free time moments were spent making Skaven videos for Skaven Week. But I kind of, you know, I want to give everything 1 week and then I kind of just burn out of energy. So I'm like, no, I need to go do some live stuff and actually hobby, because if I don't do any of my hobby, I'd get burned out and I don't want to do videos. So that's why no video today, but tomorrow is the last one for a while when it comes to Skaven. Focuses on the Master Clan. Okay. Oh god, we're so close. 5 left. Got your magnets today. Hey, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Hope that you enjoy them. They are a bit ludicrously strong sometimes, but yeah. Let's see, Vinci. If you're partnered with Twitch, you can't stream on YouTube at all. I am partnered with Twitch, and I am also streaming on YouTube. Let's see here. There's just a third-party service that kind of lets me do some cool stuff like that. Okay. Well, I like that. I'm going to borrow that. I like my magnets. I like my commissar strong and unflinching. That's funny. Oh, man. Okay, those guys are drying. Let's get some bases for them. We are almost done. We're 5 away. My fingers can feel it. These bases have been digging into my thumbs. Sorry, I'm not chatting very much for the chat and hobby. But almost there. As far as what's going on, Adepticon's coming up. Actually, let's do this. Wild speculation. What do y'all think is going to be revealed at Adepticon? I think it's going to have a lot more AOS stuff than the last time. I mean, the last time had AOS stuff, but there wasn't any like. I almost said anything of value, but you know, we got some like art for whatever the stuff coming out later is, right? The oh my gosh, what do they call it? Warcry or whatever, and then Forbidden whatever. I don't know. Honestly, it's so not memorable. I can't remember it. Forbidden Power, is that what it was? I don't even know. Where it was just, this is coming, and there's absolutely zero worthwhile information. It was just to let you know that something's coming. So, anyway, wild speculation. What do you think's coming at Adepticon as far as announcements go? All right. Ace says there's Slanesh coming. Any other wild speculation? For me, I'm thinking Dark Oath. Ooh, Jack and Zaku both say, oh, something ordered, but then Zaku says free people. That would honestly make my heart so happy. I can't even tell you if we saw free people. I think I'm honestly more excited for the idea of that book than anything it could ever live up to. That's probably not good. It's just, you know, I'm excited for just to know what the humans are about in this setting, because it is the most lacking thing next to elves. AOS Warhammer Quest in line with Blackstone Fortress. Okay. That's actually not a bad suggestion at all. I wouldn't be, you know what's gonna be funny is like the Forbidden Power, that's all it's gonna be, is just like Silver Tower. But yeah, which would kind of, I think it'd be funny, you know, people getting all wild speculation about when they just saw the promo art for it. That's why I don't do rumor engines and that kind of stuff, or predictions. I think the Warcry one is, we can pretty much, I think, reasonably guess that it's going to be a skirmish game for AOS, just because they made it a really hard and fine point that the team who made Skirmish and Underworlds is working on it, which are both skirmish-based games. So I think that's a safe bet as far as like the overall mechanics. Whether or not we'll see anything about it, I don't know, but. That there. Oh my gosh, last guy. Less Sigmar zealotry, I hope. Your free people's big guns is hitting the tables. Yeah, so if you're not a part of it, I think I put the link in the description down below. Maybe I didn't for the live version, but we have a Discord app where Me and the gentleman from Rerolling Ones are both on, and there was some talk about this big guns free people army. That sounds awesome. Just loads of cannons and junk. I love it. Okay. Oh, it's done. My thumbs can take a break. That actually hurt. A little side of those things digging into me. All right. Well, friends, we got something accomplished. So this is, yeah, 40 rats just chilling, right? Is that 40? I hope so. Let's see. 2, 6, 8, 10, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 6, 8, 10, 2, 6, 8. Let's see here. No, that should be all. Oh, no. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not sure how hard they're leaning into the like religious zealotry of Sigmar anymore. I don't know. I like it both ways, honestly. I like that some factions do and some don't. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I don't want every Order army to be that way. Like, I don't want every Order army to be like super religious and zealotry, because that's not what we see in the books. And I think that's important that we keep that. Like, we maintain the fact that you know, some people have a lot of like reservations about the way that Sigmar handled things in the Age of Myth. I like that idea. That, like, you know, he's our savior, but I still don't like it. There's an uneasiness there. I think that's important to keep. So I'm basically just counting these dudes out because I have an extra one here that I thought I had them all. So that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, I do have one more. Okay. Well, this is the last one. Let's see, Doug, would you be interested in doing some sort of stream for the upcoming Sigmar RPG? I'd love to watch you guys do that. I know that we are getting it whenever it comes out. Like, we're just gonna buy it, but and I'm gonna use it for a lot of lore videos. Honestly, I've never done a role-playing game before. I don't know if it's my thing. I know Shu from Rerolling Ones has talked about running one, but like I said, because it's not my jam, I don't know if I'd want to record it, because I don't know if I could do it well and participate well. That being said, there will be content about it. Like, I will go nuts when that book ever finally drops. It's taking a while to get them out. But yeah, when it does, I'm going to be going hog wild, because for the same reason that I wanted the Free People's book, right? It's world building. And world building is everything. Especially in a fantasy universe that is often accused of being very hard to understand, like very abstract. You know, it is just, it's everything. Let's see here. All right, give me just a moment here. I'm looking up to see if there's any more information about the release date, but I don't see anything. Calling it now, Free People get Imperial Guard orders. That would be legit, man. If they, you know, I'm totally cool with borrowing things back from 40K. One of which is I want marker lights for my carriage and overlords, and I want orders for my humans. Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum. But yeah. Let's see. Apparently, you can be a skink. Do you just hiss at your friends in different tonalities? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I know. Mark went nuts when he saw in the background there is a Kurnoth Hunter, or like one of those big Sylvaneth models. So he was like, "I want that." So yes, okay, you can be that. Which is exciting. He clinged to a character. He loves his giant tree folk. Let's see. Big old box of bits here. I thought I had a 32 mil. I do not. That sucks. Oh. Oh, well. Okay. Well, I'm going to scoop all these things up and get them in the trash. And I'm going to hop off for the night. But friends, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And just giving me something to talk to while I do some of the more arduous parts of hobby. I will likely come back and do a more formal, I guess, live stream on, I think, Friday night. Certainly during the day, I plan on being online, because I like to get people in Europe at a more reasonable time for them. So, yeah, I'll be over there, and they give me something to watch. I'll try to have more topics planned. Like I said, this was just because I was sitting down and could do something. But anyway, I will talk to you all real soon. Thank you so much for all my new subscribers and followers. It means the world to me, and I super appreciate it. Thank you so much, and happy wargaming.